here we go. Welcome back to episode 34 of UnHammered with your host, Brantt Myhres. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome on the journey, man. 34 weeks, deadly. Hope you guys were, mostly stayed unhammered, hopefully. But if you didn't, that's cool, too. I ain't going to judge you. But yeah, man, it's been 7 days. Isn't it crazy how it just sort of flies by? 7 days goes like that, doesn't it? You know, I feel like I just recorded 33, which I did. But hope you beautiful humans are doing amazing. You sober, beautiful, unhammered humans. And if you're in that category, awesome. Why don't we, as always, take some time to acknowledge the miracle that you are today and that I am. And I need to acknowledge that a lot. 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year from getting loaded off of alcohol or drugs. Cheers. Bang. Yep. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Sweet and low today. So right on, Brantt. Sweet and low. Cool. Hey guys. Little meditation. I don't know what the day is. Losing track, but I've got it bookmarked for the meditation, everybody. And let's see what it is. With God's help, I will build a protective screen around myself, which will keep out all evil thoughts. I will fashion it out of my attitude towards God and my attitude toward other people. When one worrying or impatient thought enters my mind, I will put it out at once. I know that love and trust are the solvents for the worry and frets of life. I will use them to form a protective screen around me. Okay. Wow, to me, that's powerful. What's the prayer? I pray that frets and impatience and worry may not corrode my protective screen against all evil thoughts. I pray that I may banish all these from my life. Okay. They talk about evil thoughts, and we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. But hey, let's see what we got going on the internet here. And some messages from people. And we're going to start with this guy. Hey, Dan G. How you doing, brother? Anyways, here's his message. Sober now since November 3rd of 2024. Right on. My 2025 world is a year of surrender to keep me focused. Alcohol was the thing that holded me back from God. Wow, okay. You found God. Me too. After I made that heartfelt decision to really quit, I came across your UnHammered podcast by seeing your Gretzky hockey stick story on an Instagram feed. Went back and listened from episode 1, and I've just finished number 23. Holy shit, Dan. Atta boy. I've been listening to 2 or 3 episodes a week. I'm also on page 200 of your painkiller book. Nice. Asked my wife to get it for Christmas. What else does he say? Anyways, love the stories, and your message is encouraging and inspiring and speaks to me. Hashtag unhammered and hashtag never give up. Cheers. Thank you, Dan, for that, bud. And congrats on, I don't know how many days you got now, but November, December, coming up on 60, aren't you? Here's a gentleman. Chris J is his name. Hey, Brantt, former hockey player here in Atlanta, Georgia. I was fired from coaching from youth hockey for showing up not unhammered, but I showed up hammered. I've been sober for 10 months now. I listened to your book early on in sobriety, and it helped me a lot while I was trying to do it on my own. I've been engaged in AA now with a sponsor working the steps for 6 months. I've been making lots of progress and connections. I enjoy your podcast every week, and it's a big part of my Sundays. Thanks for your help, CJ. Well, first off, CJ, I played in Atlanta, Georgia. I lived out in Marietta, Georgia, and amazing strip joints out there. Amazing bars. I Atlanta and Tampa, maybe because I was 20 or 19 and I had a fucking fake ID when I was getting into these strip clubs. And actually, it was the first time that I ever hooked up with a stripper was after we won the Turner Cup. Not a very exciting moment for the stripper, though. I'll just remember Brent Gretzky had the cup at the bar, and the bartender was pouring every type of liquor that the bar had in this cup, in the Turner Cup it was called in the International Hockey League. And I always had this goal to hook up with a stripper, and I tried for years, but for just some reason they didn't want nothing to do with me. And all of a sudden now I got this cup sitting on my lap, and somebody wants something to do with me. Oh, that's how it works, eh? Anyways, this girl sits down, blah, blah, blah. And I start drinking out of the cup. And there's a lot of different types of booze in there. And we go back to my hotel, and I'll never forget, it was the Holiday Inn. And anyways, we go back to my room, and we're in bed together. And at this point, you do what adults do, or I'm almost an adult. And as we're doing what adults do, I ended up puking all over her, all over her stomach. And I'll hand it to the stripper. She got up and she went right to the bathroom and got me a nice warm cloth and wiped me down from all the puke. And I just remember saying to myself, boy, did you fucking blow this. And I don't know why I went off on that. Sorry, got me going on Atlanta. Chris, love Atlanta. Oh, by the way, I've never done that again. This guy's name is Vaughn B. Hey, Brantt, I want to let you know that I am 4 days sober. I'm having trouble sleeping. But thanks for the inspiration. Now, then he wrote back, he's on day 6. And then he just wrote, guys, as of a few days ago, day 11. Right on, Vaughn B. Congrats, my friend. Matthew P. He was at 41 days, everybody. And Matthew now is at 48. This is as of a few days ago as well. Congrats, Matthew, on 48 days. And that's amazing. What do we got going here, gents and ladies? Start off with the old stripper story, eh? Oh, so anyways, I go skating this Oilers alumni thing, right? At Rogers Place in Edmonton. And I go down there and I skate with the boys. Anyways, as I'm leaving, one of the guys from the Oilers says, "Hey, Myhres, we want to go to the game tonight." And I'm like, "They're playing the Kings, and you worked for them." I said, "Yeah, you know what? Actually, yeah, I'll take the little guy. I'll take Kaner. He's never been to an NHL game before." So, anyways, I go and we're skating, and I'm in front of the net, and I see this guy in the with a puck, and he's winding up to shoot, and in my head I go, it's gonna fucking hit me. It's like it's 100% he's gonna hit me. And as soon as he releases the shot, I even try to move my foot out of the way, and it hits me perfectly in the bone. And I go down, and it hurt. It hurt. So I hobbled to the bench, eh? And anyways, so it's not feeling too bad. But I noticed I'm taking Kaner to the game, and Jesus Christ, it's starting to feel worse. And by the end of the first period, I can't even lift my son up. And I can't even walk down the stairs without 2 hands on the rail. I thought I busted it. Got home, wrapped her in ice, couple Advil, praying for the best in the morning, and it worked out. Woke up and the wheel was fine. But Jesus, I thought I broke her. That was pain, man. That was painful. But hey, he went to his first game, and man, it was great. It was great to see. I didn't know what to expect because there's 20,000 people screaming, right? And there's loud music and everything, and he loved it. He was dancing away, having a blast, and free popcorn and whatever you want for a kid. He had a great time. He loved it. Dryside, Leon, Daddy, Connor. Yeah, they're good hockey players, buds. Hey, any of you beautiful humans do a gratitude list? Do you? I think it's important. I don't do it all the time. I think when I pray, how much do I add that in? Anyways, my point is this. Do you do a gratitude list? Because I think that it's important that maybe every week we can write in and you can tell me a few things that you're grateful for, because it's pretty hard to be in self-pity and resentment when you're in gratitude. It just is, right? So here's my list. I wrote down 6 things today that I'm grateful for. Number 1 is my sobriety. And without my sobriety, all the other 5, they fuck off. They're gone, right? So number 1's crucial. It's just like step 1. So my sobriety has to be number 1 on my gratitude list. Number 2 is the health of my 2 children, Chloe and Kane. My 2 kids at the moment are healthy and happy. And I thank you, God, for that. Because without health, it doesn't matter what you have. You're done. And then 3 was my health. Thank you, God, for my health. I appreciate waking up, and yeah, I'm feeling a little bit rusty at moments, but other than that, it's good. And then 4, I wrote down this podcast. So I'm grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk to you guys every week. I'm grateful for the messages that you guys have been giving me. Thank you. I'm very grateful for that. And then 5 is my faith. So it's sort of full circle, right? My faith in the process. My faith that morning on my knees after I got arrested, and my faith in the process. I'm grateful for my faith. I'm grateful that I can humble myself, like I say, and I can get on my knees and I can close my hands and I can surrender, and I don't have to be the tough fucking hockey player. And then number 6, what is just before I read you my last one, what do you guys think wealth is? What's your idea of being rich? Tell me. info@unhammered.com. Hit me up on social media. What's your idea of rich? You think it's a lottery? Do you? You think winning the fucking lotto? Maybe? Okay. I'll tell you what I think. For me, when I considered myself wealthy, is when my cell phone bill came and my electric bill came, and my house taxes came, and my child support came, and I had to fill up my car with gas, and that comes all the time. When I was able to pay my bills, I felt wealthy. And I got to tell you, that's the 6th one on my list, is that thank you for when I get a bill in the mail, I can pay it today. And I've worked hard, man. I've grinded hard and saved money and did my best with what I could. Made hopefully decent financial decisions to put me in this spot. But anyways, I think everyone, if you boil it down, I think wealth is if you can pay your bills. Man, I think you're rich. I think you're rich. A lot of people are living in debt, and I get it, man. I get it. I did it. And you know what? You're going to be able at some point, hopefully, to keep clawing away at the debt, because the debt just keeps, for me, it just kept compounding, and that was looking like a disaster zone, and I just chipped away, man. Called the creditors. I'm like, how much do I owe you? Like, well, in total, 20 grand. I said, okay. I said, how about 10 today? You're never going to fucking hear from me again. Okay. So I basically got 50 cents on the dollar and cleaned up my credit. What's your gratitude list, everybody? What else is going on? Well, you know what? Something's sort of going on next month. There's a date. There's a date, everybody, and it's February 7th coming up. Why is that significant? Not to you, but to me it is. turning 3 years sober of alcohol on February 7th. I'm going to get that coin, 3-year coin, God willing. I've been 18 years, I think, now without drugs. I haven't been high in 18 years, and it's going to be 3 years from alcohol. So yeah, it's 3 years. Attaboy. I'm proud of myself on that one. Fuck yeah. Okay. What else? What do you guys do for, do you guys have any boundaries? You know, sometimes I struggle with that, and we may have chatted about it before. But when you set a boundary, like, you know, is there a red line? Is there an actual line here? Or is it up for interpretation? I don't know, man. Sometimes I think it's up for interpretation, right? Because I'm not perfect, you know, and I'm going to fucking probably bother people. I do probably bother people. That's why I have a small circle. But no, anyways, back to the boundaries. I ask because, like, when it comes to, let's say a friend, right? And a friend of yours that you've known for a long time, like maybe 20 years or so, they turn into they snap and they turn into a fucking complete different human. And, you know, every part of me wanted to try and forgive the situation, right? But it was so sort of crazy and like insane when it happened that I cut the cord. And I haven't looked back, and I've set that boundary for myself. There's things I think in my life that I can for sure get over, and forgiveness in my heart and all that. And then there's things where I say, fucking adios, amigos. You done. And it happened with a friend that I thought was a good friend. And it's just, I guess, yeah, I'm starting to think about it. And I wanted to know what you thought about boundaries and you know, where is there a red line for you guys? Is there room for interpretation? Is there wiggle room and all that kind of stuff? You know, I think there is, but maybe some situations like I just mentioned, there's not. So I wanted to get your opinion on what boundaries meant to you guys. And that was sort of a situation that happened with me, and maybe you guys have cut the cord too. Maybe you had to cut the cord, you know. Hey, Brantt, what you wished you knew at the start of your sobriety journey? What I wished I knew at the start of it? Oh shit, that would have been Malibu in 1998. Wish I would have known that I'd be here. Everything behind me in the book. All these stories that I've told that are in there. Everything I've done in my life got me to right now talking to you guys on a sober recovery, inspirational, hopefully podcast. So I wish I knew this. Oh, she was a grind to get here, though. She was a grind. But hey, it was, you know, in life, isn't it worth it? Isn't it, you know, when you put on the work boots and you go through the trenches, you know, and then you get to the other side, and it's not always fucking, you know, like I said, roses and cotton candy. There's going to be some swamps you got to get out of. But I wish I knew back then that sobriety wasn't a life sentence. It wasn't a jail sentence. It wasn't a prison sentence. It was a gift from the heavens. It's a gift from God. Wouldn't have been able to be the father that I am without being sober. I know that. Maybe my kids will know that one day. And if they don't, that's okay, because I know it. See, that's a thing, right? Like when you're sober and you're doing the right thing, you know you're doing the right. You don't have to tell anybody. Hey, look at me. Fuck that. Just get into action and do it. And then you're the one that laying your head down on your pillow, nobody else. Do any of you, speaking of that, do any of you ever feel like throwing the towel in with your sobriety? It's an interesting topic, eh? Throw the towel in. If I'm being honest, maybe. Sometimes, yeah, I do. And it wouldn't be like going out and drinking again or like doing a little bit of coke. It'd be buying some heroin and grabbing a couple needles this time. Basically that's what I'd do. That's what I do if I threw the towel in. I wouldn't grab a beer or smoke. I don't like weed. I fucking hate it. So it wouldn't be weed, but some blow, maybe some good coke, but I'd shoot that. So anyways, my point is throwing the towel in. Yeah, sometimes it crosses my mind. But I think that the longer that I've stayed, that thought, and it's the addiction, right? This is the podcast that we're on, and we're talking about it, and we're being honest. The thought doesn't stay there long anymore. It's like, yeah, I know, fuck you. Get away from the right side of my head. Stop standing on my shoulder, bud. I know you well, and you can fuck off. Because I ain't buying those needles today. So, well, try again tomorrow if you want. Maybe I'm in a different mood, but today, fuck off. So yeah, do I feel like throwing the towel in? Sometimes I think about it, but I'm not going to act today. That's right. Today, I will not act on that today. Because all we have is right now, and all we have is this moment. I don't know if I'm going to fucking buy the needle tomorrow, but I won't today. I'm going to promise you guys that. Everybody's been chatting about like alcohol-free mocktails and the growing trend of non-alcoholic beverages and just the growth and the trend in people not really drinking as much these days. Do you guys find that? I sort of, it seems like kids don't drink the way we used to when we were younger. Like even when I was 17, like we always went out to the bar. Fuck me. Like had bush parties back in Grand Center all the time. We just were drinking all the time. And it feels like kids aren't drinking. They're staying home more. And so if we put in why alcohol free is a growing trend, ? What do we got? In recent years, the movement toward alcohol-free has gained significant momentum. This trend isn't just about recovery from addiction. It's a cultural shift that appeals to a broader audience, okay, including the sober curious. Maybe some of you are sober curious that are listening right now. The sober curious crowd and those seeking a healthier lifestyle. That's a big one. The healthier lifestyle. I can see why people want to stop drinking for that for sure. Let's explore the factors fueling this growing phenomenon. Oh, they're calling it a phenomenon. Cool. Health and wellness focus. Okay, we just talked about that. The sober curious movement allows individuals to explore life without alcohol, even if they aren't necessarily battling addiction. That is so true. Books like Sober Curious by Ruby something. Anyways, this movement normalizes questioning drinking habits, making sobriety more accessible and less stigmatized. Mental health awareness. Okay. Growing awareness on mental health has led to recognize the link between alcohol, anxiety, depression, or stress. So that's a pretty big one, hey, if you're dealing with those things. Rise of non-alcoholic alternatives. The market for non-alcoholic beverages. What do we got? What do we got coming? Has exploded with brands like Athletic Brewing and others offering a sophisticated and a delicious alternative to traditional alcoholic drinks. Bars and restaurants and retailers are offering it now as options. This innovation has removed the stigma of holding a non-alcoholic drink, offering consumers the sense of inclusion. What else we got? Social media and changing narratives. So influencers and celebrities are sharing their sober journeys. Yeah, that's cool. it felt sort of, I mean, we're talking whatever that is, 28 years ago, the stigma behind the, me raising my hand or telling anybody that I was an addict. Man, now, today it doesn't feel that out of the norm. They're like, yeah, okay. I'm dealing, like somebody's dealing with something. It doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs. We know one of the big one is food, right? Feeling any way you go stuff your fucking face. And I'm guilty of it at times too, bored and want some sugar or anyways, my point is it's not just alcohol and drugs. There's so many other things. Financial savings. Oh boy, I wonder how much I saved in cocaine. Holy shit. That's a fucking $100 a gram for that shit. Anyways, what's the takeaway from these guys? Alcohol-free living isn't just about quitting drinking. It's about enhancing a lifestyle that promotes healthy clarity and connection. This growing trend reflects a collective shift towards more intentional and mindful living. Okay. Where people prioritize well-being over social pressures. Oh, that's sort of cool. Hey guys, want to read a little chapter out of this guy? The big book of AA? Sure. I do. And we're on a vision for you. What page? If you guys want to read along. Page 151, everybody. A vision for you. For most normal folks, drinking or drugging means companionship and colorful imagination. It means release from care, boredom, and worry. It is joyous intimacy with friends and a feeling that life is good. But not so with us. Those last days of heavy drinking and drugging, the old pleasures were gone. They were but memories. Never could we recapture the great moments of the past. There was an insistent yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and a heartbreaking obsession that some new miracle of control would enable us to do it. There was always one more attempt and one more failure. The less people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself, as we became subjects of king alcohol and king drugs. Shivering of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that is loneliness settled down. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. I did. I went fucking dumpster diving. Momentarily we did. Yeah. Then we would come to oblivion and the awful awakening to face the hideous four horsemen: terror, bewilderment, frustration, and despair. Unhappy drinkers and druggers who read this page will understand. I do. Now and then a serious drinker or drugger, being dry at the moment, says, I don't miss it at all. Feel better, work better, have a better time. As an ex-problem drinker or drugger, we smile at such a sally. We know our friend is like a little boy whistling in the dark, trying to keep his spirits up. He or she fools himself. Inwardly, he would give anything to take half a dozen drinks and get away with them. He will presently try the odd old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He or she cannot picture life without alcohol or drugs. Yeah, man. Someday he or she will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. See, that's the scary part that people get to. When I read this years ago, that line stood out for me. Why don't we read that again? Where is it? He or she cannot picture life with or without alcohol. Wow. Someday he will be unable to imagine. Oh, there we go. Then he will know loneliness such as a few do. I so relate to the loneliness. I was so goddamn lonely, man. I was around people, but inside I was so fucking lonely. He will be at the jumping off place. He or she will wish for the end. Period. Wow. We have shown how we have got from under. You say, yes, I'm willing, but am I to be consigned to life where I shall be stupid, boring, and glum like some righteous people I see? ? I know I must be getting along without liquor or drugs, but how can I? ? Have you a sufficient substitute? ? And we'll end with this paragraph. Yes, there is a substitute, and it is vastly more than that. It is a fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. There you will find a release from care, boredom, and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Thus we find the fellowship, and so will you. Wow, man. That's it's one of my favorite chapters. I'm sneaking it in. Fast forwarded it a bit, but it's my second favorite chapter. A Vision for You. What do we got here? Okay. Hey, Brantt. What do you think of the fighting mentality in the NHL today? The fighting mentality? Well, I don't know. I think looking back at it or watching the game today, why don't guys fight twice or 2 times in a row? Like back when I played, if you lost a fight, guess what you're doing the next shift? You're fighting again. You're fighting again. If you lost a fight, home or away, you were asking that guy to fight, and that guy was going to oblige every time. It was a code that we went by back when I played. And I don't know how many times I fought a guy twice, Probably a really good example of that is a guy named Dan Kordick, who played for the Philadelphia Flyers. And I was playing for the Tampa Bay Lightning at the time. And first shift, I guess who I see come over the boards? It's Dan Kordick. And, all of a sudden the puck drops and I'm shaking my gloves and Danny shakes his and here we go. And you know what? Sometimes in a fight you get lucky. And I caught Dan on the chin and Dan goes down. And, like I said, you just get lucky sometimes. And as I'm skating to the penalty box, I say to myself, oh boy, guess who we're playing in 2 weeks in Philadelphia? The Philadelphia Flyers with Dan Kordick. You think he's going to want to fight me again? Probably. Or he's going to want to fight me this game. But anyways, we go to the box and do our 5 minutes. And then the way the game went, we never got out there against each other again. And we go into Philly 2 weeks from then. And I know what's coming. So we're in Philly. We're getting ready. I'm off the face-off. I look over and guess who's coming to the face-off? Big Kordick. And, hey, Myhres, you want to go? Yep. So puck drops and away we go. And I got to tell you, Dan was fighting for real this time, and so was I. But I kept swinging, and I don't know if I was hitting Dan where I wanted to hit him. I wanted to hit that chin again, but I think I was sort of coming up short. And we were swinging, and he catches me. Dan catches me this time, and I go down. And I just remember being on the ice, and we both said, good job, buddy. Good job, buddy. But that's what we did back then. You lost a fight, you fought again. It was just a code. It was a respect thing that we had for the tough guy role when I played. And nowadays, I don't really see guys going twice in a game. I just don't, and that's fine. But back when I played, like I said, if you lost, you win again. And I had a ton of respect. And guess who my teammate was that year? I got traded to the Flyers. First guy to walk up to me was Dan Kordick. What's up, bud? I'm like, hey, Dan, nice to meet you, man. We never had any hard feelings. We ended up becoming like really close friends that year in Philadelphia. And, love Dan till this day. But I just respected the fact that, hey, I got lucky and caught him on the chin. And he wanted to go me again in Philly 2 weeks from then. And of course I obliged. and he got the better of me in that one, and that's just the way that it goes, you know. So, anyways, that's sort of what I think. I just wonder why you see guys get tuned up and they don't fight again. They don't fight the guy that tuned them up, and I'm like, why don't you go ask him to go again? So, I don't know. Like I said, times have changed, but anyways, that's what I think about that. You guys want to end it with a little prayer for you guys for the week? Okay. God, I offer myself to thee to build with me and do with me as thou wilt. Relieve me of the bondage of self, that I may better do thy will. Take away my difficulties, that victory over them may bear witness to those I would help of thy power, thy love, and thy way of life. May I do thy will always. And may you guys stay unhammered for the next 7 days, as I will. I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay unhammered. We'll see you in 7 days. Thanks.